So this is a rectangular cavity resonator. We have to derive the resonant frequency for a rectangular cavity resonator. In z-axis, we assume the direction of propagation of our wave. A, B and D are shown as the dimensions of the waveguide. Now a wave existing, electromagnetic wave existing in the waveguide should be subjected to the Maxwell's equation, and also it should obey all the four boundary conditions. That is namely the four boundary condition. First one, at Ez component will be equal to 0 at y is equal to 0 and x varying from 0 to a. Again, second boundary condition, Ez will be equal to 0 at x is equal to 0 and y varying from 0 to b. Again, third boundary condition, Ez will be equal to 0 at y is equal to b and x varying from 0 to a. Then fourth boundary condition, Ez is equal to 0 for x is equal to a and y varying from 0 to b. So these four boundary conditions, later in our derivation we are writing it in detail and showing how the wave equation turns out to be. In this section we are going to derive the resonant frequency in a rectangular cavity resonator. So we have to start it from the basic standard wave equation. Here we are considering the direction of propagation to be in the z-axis, Ez. Gamma is the propagation constant, omega is the angular radiant frequency, mu is the permeability, that is the resistance to the formation of magnetic field, epsilon is the dielectric constant. So starting from this basic wave equation, that is for a TM wave, the wave equation is given by dou square Ez by dou x square plus dou square Ez by dou y square plus gamma square Ez is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon Ez. So from this basic wave equation, we are going to derive the expression for resonant frequency. So here I am taking Ez as a common and I am assuming a new constant, that is all these are constant. So gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon is equal to h square. I am assigning this particular term to be a h square or a transverse propagation constant. So this particular term or transverse propagation constant h square is gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon. So I have rewritten the wave equation and I have replaced the gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon with the constant of h. Now let Ez is equal to xy be the required solution. So for Ez I am going to substitute xy. So in this we can find that this is a partial derivative equation of the second order. Here x is a function of x alone and y is a function of y alone. So here again I can rewrite the equation, that is y, capital Y, d square x by dx square plus x d square y by dy square plus h squared xy is equal to 0 by form of simple mathematics. Now again I am dividing the equation throughout by xy. Then I get the modified equation as written below. 1 by x d square x by dx square plus 1 by y d square y by dy square plus h square is equal to 0. Now I am assuming this 1 by x d square x by dx square to be a constant minus b square, since it's a second order differential equation. 1 by y d square y by dy square to be another constant minus a square. Obviously you will be having the doubt why we are not taking positive constant, because we are dealing with the wave phenomenon. If we are taking positive constants and later solving the wave equation, the solution will be having positive real exponential functions. So that cannot represent a wave phenomena. So we take here negative constant. So the previous equation, when you substitute this a square and b square, the equation will become h squared is equal to a squared plus b square. Now the solution for both these equations can be written as follows. X is equal to C1 cos Bx plus C2 sin Bx. That is, we are having a real part and an imaginary part. Here C1 and C2 are nothing but constants. Similarly, you can write for this second order differential equation, the solution y can be written as again having a cos part and a sin part. C3 cos ay plus C4 sin ay. So in the analysis, we cannot have positive constant. We have to have negative sign in front of the constant. And from the physical understanding of the reflection of waves, we always expect a standing wave pattern in x and y direction. And since the wave propagation is in z direction, we will be expecting a traveling wave kind of behavior in the z direction. Now Ez, coming back to Ez is equal to xy, which is our required solution. We are substituting for x and y. Then we have to apply the boundary conditions. So applying the boundary conditions one by one. First for the bottom wall, that is, we have seen how the cavity resonator, rectangular cavity resonator is. So if we apply here the first boundary condition, that is Ez component to be equal to 0 for all x varying from 0 to a. Here x value is usually from 0 to a, y from 0 to b. So first boundary condition is x varying from 0 to a. We are taking for bottom wall, so y is equal to 0. Then Ez component, it is equal to 0. Since the cavity resonator is obeying the boundary conditions at all the four walls. So in this case we get the constant C3 to be equal to 0. So when you are substituting in Ez is equal to xy solution, we get the equation as shown below. Now next again we apply the second boundary condition, that is for the left side wall. For y varying from 0 to b, we apply x is equal to 0. So when we apply this, we get the constant C1 to be equal to 0. So again when we are substituting in Ez is equal to xy, we get the equation as shown here. So this is the intermediate solution for which we apply the next set of boundary conditions. So again applying the third boundary condition, that is Ez is equal to 0 for y is equal to, now we are taking b. Okay, for all x varying from 0 to a. So in that intermediate solution, when we apply this boundary condition, we know that since x is varying from 0 to a, bx cannot be equal to 0. So only this term sin ab can be equal to 0. So sin AB is equal to 0. When can sin AB be 0? When AB is a multiple of pi radian. When AB is multiple of pi radian, obviously the sign of AB will be 0. So when you are applying AB is equal to n pi. Okay, so you get the value for the constant A to be equal to n pi by b. Now again, for the next boundary condition, fourth boundary condition, y varying from 0 to b, we are applying at x is equal to a, again Ez component is equal to 0. So when we apply this boundary condition to the intermediate solution, we find that sin ay cannot be equal to 0. So only sin BA will be equal to 0. So when will sin BA be equal to 0? When BA is a multiple of pi radians. So again I am taking m integer 0, 1, 2, 3. So getting the value for the constant B to be equal to m pi by a. Now to the intermediate solution Ez obtained, we are now going to substitute the value of constant B and A we have got. So Ez is equal to C2 C4 sin m pi by ax sin n pi by by e raised to j omega t into e raised to gamma z for the wave propagating along negative direction. If both the constants, that is the time axis and z axis, both are having the same sign, it indicates that the wave is propagating along the negative direction. If both are of opposite signs, that is the time and z-axis, they are having the opposite sign, it is indicating that the wave is propagating along the positive direction. So here we consider the wave propagating in both in positive and negative direction, and when we add both, we obtain the equation as such. Now, if capital A is representing the amplitude of the wave traveling in the z direction, we can modify the Ez to be A plus e raised to minus j beta z plus A minus e raised to minus j beta z. If you assume the symmetry and Ez vanishes at z is equal to 0 and z is equal to d, we can choose this envelope amplitude A plus to be equal to A minus. So we can modify the equation as C2 C4 A e raised to minus j beta d plus e raised to j beta d. Here z is replaced by small d. Now using the trigonometrical identity, we can replace this factor e raised to minus j beta d plus e raised to j beta d by 2 cos beta d. So we have replaced this by using the trigonometrical identity. Now again we know that we are having a single geometry where TEM wave cannot simultaneously exist, and at the surface of the resonator the component factor of Ez will be all 0. So Ez is 0 all along the surface of the resonator. So at the surface, when we are substituting Ez is equal to 0, we get only what? Cos beta d to be equal to 0. So we can write for beta is equal to p pi by d, where p is again a integer. Now we have got the value for the constant A as m pi by A, B as n pi by B, and we now also have got a value for beta. Now coming back to derivation of resonant frequency, we can write the expression for h square to be a square plus b square and h square also to be equal to gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon as stated in the beginning. Now equating both of this gives the expression for resonant frequency. Now if the question is asked in the exam just for 4 marks or 5 marks, you can directly start the derivation at this point. But if the question is asked for 10 marks, you should start from the wave equation. So proceeding, you can substitute here. So and equating both the equation. Again, we are going to replace the gamma. Now gamma here for a condition of wave propagation, it is taken as j into beta, and beta we know it is p pi by d. We know p is the half wavelength variation in z direction. So proceeding, you get the value for omega, the resonant angular radiant frequency. Again you can replace omega by 2 pi f. So we get the value for f0. Now if we assume the resonator cavity to be filled with air, then we can replace this 1 by root of mu 0 epsilon 0 as 1 by c. So the equation reduces as such. So for a free space within the cavity, the resonant frequency expression is given. This equation is very important. We have to remember this equation for solving the problems.